One of the most important Air Jordan retros of all time is finally making a return. Originally dropping in 2006, the DMP 6s will make its return sometime in 2020. Let's take a closer look. What's going on, guys? You're watching Sneaker News on YouTube, and today we're taking a closer look at the Air Jordan 6 Retro DMP. Before we do that, just do us a quick favor, please hit that subscribe button and get right to it. As we mentioned before, we started off with a pretty bold statement stating that these are one of the most important retro Jordans of all time, and we stand by that statement. We'll explain just why in a little bit, but we just want to go over the basics. As of now, the release date has not yet been confirmed, but please check the description below. We'll update regularly when we know a firm release date. But we do know that the adult pair retails for $200, and these will be available in full family sizes for the first time. Of course, big thank you to Stadium Goods for lending us this pair for this unboxing. Check the links below if you want to shop these right now. So when these dropped in 2006, that was around the time where Air Jordan retros really started to pick up. I mean, of course, as you know, the first retro Jordans dropped in 1994 with the ones, and then later on in 1999 is when things really started to move forward into the retro movement after he retired from the Bulls. But 2006 was a very, very crucial year, and it was started off by this particular shoe, the Air Jordan 6 Retro DMP. And if you remember, these were never available on its own. It was part of the first ever two-pair package by Jordan Brand, and it was packaged alongside an Air Jordan 11, and we'll touch on that a little bit. But that release, for that matter, was a reason why, you know, two-pair packs are kind of the norm these days. Not necessarily the norm, but you see it more often, mostly from Jordan Brand, but you've seen Nike do it, you've seen Under Armour do it, you've seen Adidas do it. You know, they've definitely pioneered that movement, and you know, most retro Jordans have some sort of nickname, and these are called the DMP because it stands for Defining Moments Package. And this was inspired by his first NBA championship in 1991, and the Air Jordan 11 that it came with was inspired by his championship in 1996, which was his first after his first retirement. This is celebrating winning, and when you think winning, all you think is gold. They went with a simple black and gold colorway for this Air Jordan 6, as well as a white, black, and gold for the 11. At the time, Jordan 6s were really scarce. And right now they seem to drop several a year, but in 2006, Air Jordan 6 retros were incredibly scarce, as we said. The last time they dropped were in 2000, so it was a full 6 years before these hit stores for the first time. And the only ones that were available were infrared 6s with Nike Air. There was the Olympic 6s, there was the white and midnight navy. The 6s were very, very coveted, and mostly because they were pretty scarce. So this sort of opened the doors for a quick second because they weren't 6s again for quite a while, but the DMP 6s at that time were one of the most sought after shoes probably ever. And I believe resale prices for just these reached as high as $1,000. And this was before the era of $1,000 sneakers. Again, just to quickly go over the DMP 6, what's different between these and let's say an OG pair is, well, first the same things that you see are this full black suede nubuck upper, and they basically swapped out the infrared with this metallic gold. You can see it on this midsole as well as the air bubble in the inside. You can also see the gold on the lace lock as well as the tongue shroud. Flip it over to the medial side again, you see that nice hit of gold on the heel. One thing that's different is that instead of a Nike Air or even just a Jumpman, they added this 23 on the heel, and this only happened a few times, but this was definitely the first Air Jordan 6 retro that featured his actual jersey number beneath the Jumpman, and that's done in like a metallic gold. And here on the spoiler heel clip, you see a really shiny gold as well. And one thing that's new with this 2020 version is that on the insole, it has a Jumpman logo and it adds 2020 just to differentiate these between the OGs. What they also kept OG is the dog tag that features the date he won his first NBA championship. In terms of the design, the shoe is actually really, really straightforward, but these shoes have so much more meaning to Air Jordan fans because it was not only one of the most sought after, it was also came at the time where Air Jordan retros were really starting to hit its stride. After the DMP 6s, there wasn't really an Air Jordan 6 retro again until 2008 when they dropped the monthly countdown packages. And then in 2010 is when the Air Jordan 6 retro like really made its first full-fledged comeback. They had the varsity red joints, the infrared packs, the motorsports, the Olympics, the Pistons, Lakers. At that time, like we said, the Air Jordan 6 was entirely scarce. It was arguably one of the most coveted shoes around at that time. It was these, 11s. And yes, there was a time where no one cared about Air Jordan 1s. Anyone who said they were rocking Air Jordan 1s in the mid 2000s are probably lying to you. The only ones that were really around were the 01 pairs, and those were mostly worn by skaters and some people who were just really into the one. But it's just crazy to think now that at one point the Air Jordan 6 was the most sought after Air Jordan Retro alongside, let's say, the 3 or the 4. Right now everything is the 1, but again, we don't want to go too off topic. These in hand look incredible, and as we mentioned before, a release date isn't yet known. Originally they were supposed to drop on January 25th, then it got postponed to March, and then people thought that they were dropping during All-Star Week because these were actually previewed at an All-Star Weekend preview by Jordan Brand, but now we're learning that it's possibly April. But again, we'll have that latest release date update for you in the description below, so please make sure you check the description for the release date. One thing that's interesting about this release is it comes in this new style of shoebox. It's this two-tone black with metallic gold. You might have seen something similar with the Jordan 3 red cements that are also dropping. Not coming in that OG style box, which makes sense because these are not an OG colorway, but introducing a new style. And Jordan shoe boxes are very much a part of Air Jordan history as well. So interesting to see that in 2020 they got a new shoe box coming. But these are definitely a must cop. These are probably going to sell out immediately. It's almost regarded as highly as an OG colorway, but it's pretty much in that same tiers. Great quality in hand. Of course, there's some issues with like glue and whatnot, but you just kind of have to expect that with retros these days. $200, full family sizes. These are really great in hand. If you're an Air Jordan fan, these are definitely a must cop. And look, everything is cyclical right now, and we foresee that Jordan retros are going to make a comeback. So this is one shoe that you do not want to pass up on. Name one basketball shoe that is inspired by a championship that doesn't have black and gold or white and gold. Again, the Air Jordan team definitely kind of pioneered that movement. And like, for example, the big stage home and away for Kobe, RIP Kobe, those are obviously influenced by these in some sort of way, maybe indirectly, but again, these are definitely a must cop if you're into sixes. Look great on feet. As we mentioned before, these are part of a All-Star preview that you can also check right now, or check down below for links for the full All-Star preview. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and we'll catch you in the next video.